Just a few weeks ago, Donald Trump's golf club in New York fired roughly 12 undocumented immigrants that they had working for them at that organization. Some of the people had been there for more than 10 years, working at this Trump golf course as an undocumented worker for over a decade. And the administration, the organization, decided that now, January 18th is actually when it happened, would be the best time to start calling in some of these undocumented workers for private meetings where they told them that their services would no longer be needed. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, that was also during the government shutdown when Trump shut down the federal government because he couldn't get funding for his border wall to keep out undocumented immigrants. Now, here's the thing. The story kind of blew up over the weekend a little bit, and a lot of conservatives were saying, well, why is this an issue? That's a good thing. He purged these undocumented people. They shouldn't be working there anyway. They should fire them. Here's the thing, though, conservatives, and you conveniently leave this part out. Roughly a month or so ago, a massive bombshell story came out from the New York Times that talked about how Trump's golf course in Bedminster was actually falsifying documents for undocumented immigrant workers so that they could work for that golf club. We do not yet know if that's what was happening at New York course as well, but we do know that it was happening right across the state over in New Jersey, where Trump organization officials were falsifying documents in order to hire illegal immigrants. Eric Trump came out and gave a statement and said, we started to audit this. We found these people. We're going to get rid of them because obviously if you're undocumented, you can't legally work, and we don't want that here at our Trump organization. He then declined to comment on whether or not the Trump organization was going to join into the federal government's E-Verify program, which is a very simple process. You put in somebody's information and it tells you if they're actually a United States citizen. Multiple companies throughout the United States have signed up for that, hundreds in fact, and it's very easy. You get the person's name, you get whatever information in the documents they've handed you, and it'll tell you if those documents are false. It'll tell you if this person's a citizen. It will tell you everything you need to know about whether or not you are legally allowed to hire this person. The Trump organization isn't a part of that, and I wonder why. Eric Trump wouldn't say that they were going to join into that program, and I wonder why. And the answer actually comes from this massive story from a former manager at one of these Trump golf courses, where he said that the truth is they were put more emphasis on us to find cheap labor than they did to find legal labor. In fact, it was more of and this is according to the former manager, a don't ask, don't tell policy within the Trump organization. Don't ask them if they're undocumented. Don't tell us if you're undocumented. You're willing to work for cheap, so we're willing to hire you. Let's leave it at that. And that's the thing I've been saying from day one here. People like Donald Trump, people with the Business Roundtable, the Chamber of Commerce, they love illegal immigration because they understand that those are people they can take advantage of. They can hire for pennies on the dollar, and those people can't get mad about it because they're illegal aliens. They can't file a lawsuit because they're not supposed to be over here in the United States anyway. They would get in more trouble trying to fight back against these corrupt employers, so they're forced to just suffer silently, take the abuse, and take the low wages. And that is what American businesses, including the Trump organization, thrive upon. So if you think for 1 second that Donald Trump has ever been serious about building the wall, I suggest you look at his organization's own hiring practices, because that tells you everything you need to know about how Donald Trump really feels about illegal immigrants in the United States. There's a new documentary out right now on Netflix called The Devil We Know. Now, this documentary tells the story of how DuPont, through the manufacture of Teflon, along with 3M, poisoned people all across the planet. Featured prominently in this film is our own Mike Papantonio, who actually handled the cases against DuPont for this C8 poison that was used in the manufacture of Teflon. This documentary, The Devil We Know, and you can find a link to it in the description of this video, tells the complete story. It says what DuPont did, what they knew, and it interviews Mike Papantonio. It pulls clips from the media to complete the story of just how corrupt and disgusting DuPont's actions were, and more importantly, how they managed to get this toxic chemicals into the bodies of roughly 98% of the population. Most of us right now are walking around with DuPont's poison inside our bodies, and we don't even know about it. And that's why this documentary, that again is available on Netflix right now, the link is below, The Devil We Know, tells you exactly how that DuPont poison got inside your body.